In 1939, there was a very real threat that Britain would be bombed, enemy aircraft would fly overhead dropping bombs on our cities and our towns, devastating the country. And something needed to be done. There had to be some sort of warning system that was simple, effective, that everybody understood, young or old, that would mean take cover, run, keep off the streets, get out of harm's way. And that's when the air raid warning was created, the air raid siren, and it was a weird, noisy, horrible noise that everybody would recognise. And that's the sound we heard just now. And everyone would run for cover, whether it was in an air raid shelter for community or somewhere like this, the Anderson Shelter that I'm sitting in today. Isn't this cosy? I'm sitting in this Anderson Shelter, and it of course had to be constructed. So where did it all come from? How did it all start? Well, John Anderson, he was the Home Secretary at the time. He felt that people living in their houses, they needed something as opposed to the underground shelters or the purpose-built shelters for communities. And so individuals were sent these, and they were free of charge. They would erect them themselves, dig 4 feet down. Anderson Shelter would be constructed into it, made of steel, with metal plates that would be very, very protective against bomb blast, not against a direct hit. And the families would come in here and they would shelter in here, of course. It was cosy, nice and warm once you got all the candles going, etc. Take up to 6 people, that would be very, very cosy indeed. And of course the parents would want to make it as safe and as habitable as possible. Children would come in very excited, they would have to be woken at night. That would be a worry. Can you imagine the parents waking their children? Put your dressing gowns on, dear. And then over they would come, very excited, venture. But the parents would be very, very concerned, making sure the children were kept safe. There would be a first aid kit, just in case something untoward happened. And to keep them busy, well, book of cards, books for them to read, drawing books. Children love drawings, don't they? Well, that would be the sort of thing that they would enjoy. And if they got a bit hungry in the night, because the air raids would happen day and night, not just in the daytime, and then they would be in here for 5, 6, 7 hours at a time. And I'm sure the children laying on the bed, comfortable, blankets to keep them warm. There would be biscuits. And if they wanted a hot drink, well, there we go. We would have a flask with a nice hot tea or perhaps a hot chocolate that the children would really enjoy. Well, we had a radio, and it would be battery operated. That would be something that the children, or certainly the adults, would want to know. It would keep them up to date, what was going on outside this shelter. As I said, the books, perhaps the parents would read the book here that would be the protection of your home against air raids. That would be very useful indeed. And something that everybody had, but thank goodness it wasn't needed during this particular period, and that was the gas mask. Let's have a look at the gas mask. Right, if I take it out of its box, and this would be the box that the people would have to carry with them, and if they didn't have their gas mask, woe betide, they would actually get fined. So here's the gas mask. I won't put it on, but you can see it's quite a heavy piece. Now this would be the part that would keep the air flowing. This would be for people to look through, the visor, and then it would go over the head. The straps would keep it in place, and hopefully when gas occurred you would be safe. But thank goodness, as I mentioned, First World War, yes, gas. Second World War, no. The baby would be put inside and strapped in to keep it secure. Of course, the baby wriggling would be very difficult. Once the baby was in there, it would need to breathe. So there's a respirator there, and it would be hand pumped to make sure there was a continuous flow of air within the gas mask. What else have we got in the air raid shelter? There is an absolutely ingenious thing here that I know you're going to be amazed at. I was when I heard about it. So let's have a look. Here we've got a flower pot, your ordinary traditional flower pot. You pop a candle inside, you light it, and then you invert another flower pot you put over the top. It's got a little hole there, so it would keep it safe. And then what happens? This all heats up and it keeps the air raid shelter warm. Plus you've got a little bit of light coming out of the top, a little bit like a night light. So here we are, we're in this cosy shelter, everybody's settled down, something to eat, something to drink. Put your head down and have a good snooze. Oh my goodness, the all clear's gone. Isn't that amazing? What a relief. Everybody, they can wake up, they can go out, open the door. What are they going to find? Well, I've just been looking at things to do during an air raid. So that would have been a long, long night. Out they would have gone. Would their house have been bombed? Would the houses next door have been bombed? It'd be very, very different when they went outside. But chilled and excited, into a nice warm house, perhaps have breakfast. Oh, that would be good. Would they go to school? Don't know. Depend on which day of the week it was. So off they would trot, father skipping up the pathway with them. Poor old mum, having to empty the chamber pot. We would love to see you at our museum. You've heard all about it. You can come along, go into the Anderson Shelter, handle some of the objects. Just check us out on the website. That'll tell you when we're open. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.